inspire.
Welcome back to Relentless, the show about what it takes to make it as an entrepreneur, especially in the wild west of NFTs. I'm Jeff Sarris, and I'm here as always.
And I'm Jack Davidson.
Yeah, there you go.
I couldn't wait to say it.
I was trying to help you. I was trying to lead you this time, just in case.
I couldn't wait. I've been waiting all week. All right, so I have been looking forward so much to this Relentless this week because we've just been like, it's just a lot. It is a lot right now for two people. This is crunch time. And what was the quote? You've been saying this quote. You've texted it to me. I've seen you tweet it. The when it's crunch time, like 90% of the 10%. So talk about that because
essentially that the first 90%. This is normally attached to development and coding, but I find this is true for any sort of launch. But the first 90% is the first 90% of the work. And then the remaining 10% is the second 90% of the work. Because that last 10% takes so much more than you think. Like, no matter where you are and how far along and how many times you've done this before, because like I've launched stuff. This isn't my first rodeo. But It is wild how much there is to knock off the list and to consider. I mean, because we have the mint site, we have just little things. So, I mean, these are big things, but they sound like little things in the grand scheme of things because we have the contract. That's one thing on its own. We have all the NFTs that we put together. Like, I have the code to generate based on the traits. So those are two separate things that work together. But then how do we deliver those? You deliver those through a web server. So if you just throw them on a server, they're in a folder, people can go through and be like, oh, let me see what number 256 will be, because then I know what I'll get. You know, like you could actually sort of pick out which one you're minting. So then you need a little API to protect that so people can't do that.
Is that what happened to Appymon? Do you remember that project? It was the first project I ever bought, and like some people, it just was like horrible. Like they got into they were able to like figure out where the hidden prizes were and stuff, and it just totally fucked the entire launch.
Yeah, that was probably it then, because essentially how it works is an NFT is just a link. So it's a link to a file with metadata, and the metadata tells you where the image is, it tells you all the details. Everything you see in OpenSea is in this one file, this one text stack. Right. But if you just have the stuff out there, and when they mint, they link to it, you could just go through and enter all the numbers. You could see what number 9,246 is if you wanted. So you actually have to write something or find an API or work with some sort of service that protects that. So essentially, no one can see that until that number is minted. So like right now, I throw little Easter eggs in there. If people try snooping around, it's sort of like, hey there, nice try, but this hasn't been minted yet and stuff like that. But I have to write all that. It's one little thing. Then we have the actual minting website connecting the front end to the smart contract and being able to log in and be able to change all the prices because we have 3 different price tiers because we like to make it complex. But no, I think it's awesome though. I truly think this is awesome for the community. But every little bit just adds up, and yeah. Suddenly it's like, wow, we're exactly 7 days out. We'll be on Relentless next week. For everyone listening now, we will be live on Relentless probably at noon, I'm guessing, or 1 p.m. Eastern is my guess. Cool. Somewhere around there. But it'll be pretty early because that's when we'll launch. And we'll launch live on the show. I'll make the minting page live right here. Anyone who's an immortal or an immortal god can mint while we're on the show. We can see the mints sort of popping up, see what people are getting, and I don't know, share the experience together. And then, assuming everything goes smoothly, then Thursday it'll be the Froot Frens, the allow list mint, and then Friday would be public. But yeah, we are less than 7 days away, and that is so exciting, but also a little anxiety inducing, just to be honest.
So what you're tailing right now, the anxiety inducing stuff, right? So if any of you have been hearing me the last couple days, like I've been a little silent for a reason. I've kind of just been trying to get my mental ready, just as like an artist. This is the big, together, like just gotta keep my head on straight. And I've been torturing my body, like working out like a psychopath, like the last like 2 weeks, like just to like not feel that anxiety. Like I literally, my feet are wrapped up in Band-Aids right now because like I cannot stop myself from running. Like I've just been running like 10 miles a day, doing like an hour on the kettlebell, like just going nuts right now. Eating super clean, like just trying to like, it feels like I'm prepping for a fight. And like, it's just so, it like, just that the clarity of the mind is just so significant to me right now. Like that's probably the most important thing, is that I'm on and that I'm ready and that like that there is no hesitation and that we execute so perfectly. And that is, it's an exhausting thing to like make sure that like it's brutal on the mind, it's brutal on the body. It's like, but it's crunch time. It's crunch time. Like now's where, you know, I put my money where my mouth is. So, yeah, I have been running for just like to keep laser focus. And, I'm really excited. I mean, I know you've been working like a lot on like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. And it's a two-man show. It's a two-man team right now. And like Jeff is doing his portion of what needs to get done. And like it seems very intense. Like what you were just describing before, you described it amazingly. And like now I got it. But when you texted me a couple days ago, you're like, well, the API needs to. I'm like, dude, Jeff Magic. I have no idea what that means. Like I have no clue. Like that's you know, I hope it's all right. Like I really but it's just really nice to oh dude, like probably a couple more weeks it'll be like, you know, take a breath, like the roller because right now we're at the climax and then the roller coaster will go down and then it'll take a little bit for the adrenaline to fly out. And you know, we have a lot I guess in store also after the drop.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is only step one, but so much work goes into this step one to do it right, because it's important yeah, all the groundwork we're laying for the future of this brand, of this community, of like what we're building together, like you and I, and along with everyone listening and everyone watching later, like our Froot Frens community. Like we're doing this together. We're all Badfroot.
Yeah. And it's dude, I've just been well, first of all, it's so hard to not like spoil like everything that we have. Like, all right, so today, like this doesn't count as spoilers, but like for me at least, like I haven't talked to Paul in a little bit, so I like kind of filled him in, like, you know, a little bit like with what's going on. And he's like, dude, he's like, that is so crazy. Like he was so super stoked about it this morning. Just with well, I mean, people already kind of know, but just like how we're integrating like the rune system and just events and things that we have planned that we're just really it is the first of many. And you know, that's why I guess it feels so intense right now. It's the first of many things just to come. And you know, this is our first technical real generative drop. It's not 1-1. And this drop is just, you know, it's the main goal of the drop is to touch a bigger audience, is to get the community milk out there, is to start getting the brand out there, the brand awareness. And like we just have so much awesome shit. And so like that's why we want to make sure that like the art, the coding behind it, everything that goes into this is going to be just as awesome as everything that we have coming. So it's like we want to maintain quality, right? Like, so all right, so In-N-Out out here, holy shit, In-N-Out in California. I've never had it until a couple of weeks ago, and In-N-Out is fantastic. It is so good. There's none on the East Coast. It's miserable. They only have them in California, and like their quality is unfucking matched. And like it's because they really take the time with, I guess, each employee. They really take a second to say like, hey, here's our community milk. Here's how we do it. We literally make sure every burger that is pressed here is going to be the best burger that person in that drive-thru ever had. It's more than fast food. There's a whole like culture behind it that the quality is just never unmatched. And that's why it feels very high stakes right now, is because we're what were you going to say?
I don't want to leave that thought, because I think that's a perfect comparison too, because part of what makes In-N-Out special is the simplicity. They don't have the like family style restaurant menu where it's like, oh, here on page 26 you can get lobster if you want. It's like no, you get burgers, fries, secret menu. It's basically it, or shakes, you know? And like, and that's also what we're building here. Like this is simplicity. Like because we are a 2-person show, this has to be done in a simple way, but simple doesn't mean easy first, but it also doesn't mean that it's lacking. Like, I think simple can really be so much more a lot of times than trying to overdo things in terms of brand or business, or like just throwing the kitchen sink at something and just being like, one of these things will work. It's like we're taking very calculated steps along the way.
So calculated. And that's also exhausting too, is like taking calculated steps, because like sometimes it's easier to just fucking wing it. And like that's been my entire life, has just been winging it. And like now I'm not winging it anymore. I wung it far enough to get here, and then now it's like, oh man, like this is some serious shit. Like I gotta get my head on straight for it. But fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Something in and out. I don't know. It's gone. It'll come back. It'll circle.
But yeah, the culture though. Because like we have the culture that we're building in, and we have the simplicity of message to a degree, you know, like we're all Froot Frens and there's community milk, and like we're all together under this one umbrella doing the same thing because everyone's been onboarded of sorts. Everybody sort of knows the culture and vibe, whether we're there or not. Like you have Oppie and Iguana and now Black Cloud, and like just you have Miss, like everyone in here. Like I don't even want to, like, I hate when I start naming names, so I'm like, now I need to list everybody, because I don't mean to leave anyone out, but we have the people who, they understand Badfroot already. They're onboarding people of sorts, like people come in and ask questions, and the brand is bigger than the two of us. It just is. This is all of us together. It's
like I remembered what I was gonna say. It's also like this week I gotta like thank all the mods. Like you guys have been phenomenal with just like doing shit that I'm like, yeah. Thank you. I wasn't even thinking about that. Like that's so awesome. Like you guys are so great. And I have to shout out Luis's Pokemon.
That was so
cover.
good.
That blew my socks off. I literally was like, holy shit, out loud when I saw it. Great stuff. Oh shit, I had one more thing. Come on, Jack. You remembered the last one. Fuck. No, gone. It'll come back.
But yeah, the mods and people like stepping up, because it's hard to do all this.
You just feel it. It's kind of contagious. Like it's just you want to get it out there, and
everyone will be rewarded. That's the thing too. It's not like we're looking for a bunch of free work. I know right now things are different. Like neither of us from SkullKids generations have taken a penny, have earned a penny. This is something we've been building for months, and yeah, it's all gonna come around to feed everyone. That's the plan.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure that's a huge goal too. Is like, you know, I was thinking, I really just look at like, I know I bring it up often, but like, and I'm not even that involved with it, but like just the way that like, the apes just really roll out cool stuff. Like, have you noticed like when they drop stuff, like they barely say shit about it, and like people just start rumors on Twitter, and then like they drop some sick video, and then like it's so cryptic and fun, and like I don't know, it's just I want to take the best of that as well, like just like, and not I don't know, I don't know, I'm really excited to see the clientele, and like just to be able to deliver and give back, like on a level that they give back. Like if we're capable of doing that, like it's going to happen like tenfold, like even better than what that looks like. And I know it will for a fact. Like if we had the assets to really like just shell out like that, like it would be a fun Discord to be in for sure.
Oh yeah. And not that it isn't already. I mean, we're building all of this and building something really special that, it's all different. Like, I don't know. Have you seen all the Moonbirds stuff?
Okay, so I didn't do too much homework. I always get tagged in like the fake group stuff. You know, so annoying. Yeah, so Moonbirds is it's just a pixelated avatar, a pixel art. But it's from Kevin Rose. And Kevin Rose founded Dig. He was a big part in Google Ventures. He's had a slew of successful apps and different things that he's done over the years. So he's a serial entrepreneur and investor, and he's been doing this since 2005. Whenever he started Dig, like this is something he's done and he knows how to do, and he's been consistently successful and adjusting and pivoting and doing different things along the way. And
like we've been talking about this, but I've been waiting for the entrepreneurs to come into the space because so many people are sort of like they see the money, they find quick money that they can get, but they don't really know how to build something that has lasting value. And overnight, like literally within the first 36 hours, Moonbirds did top 20 all time of volume because they did $75 million or something for mint.
What was the trigger that just set it over? He already had the fan base. There was just natural.
We'll see fan base, and this is actually Web 2 money coming in because they see this is a seed round. Essentially, is Moonbirds is a company. Moonbirds is a company making a brand new, or completely reimagined take on the metaverse, along with other things. And the Moonbird itself is your ticket in to be a part of this and be a part of the DAO and sort of determine how it goes and do all these things. And it's just really interesting because there's a lot of brand new artists. And I know there's always the like, oh, are there wash sales or the different things like that. But I do think that there's a big portion of it that is sort of like, in air quotes, old money, like old money compared to crypto money, because Kevin can be like, hey, you've dumped $10 million in this project I've done. Do you want to put $8,000 into this new one and be like an actual substantial part in it? But I find it interesting because there's not that many entrepreneurs in the space yet. Like, this is something we've talked about and why I think what we're doing is special and why it's completely different. Like, we're doing a PFP project, but we're building something different than all of the other PFP projects because we're taking the business route and building sustainable like revenue models and doing things that don't rely on secondary sales, because as everyone is seeing, as soon as the market dips, secondary sales are trickling in. And when you have a bunch of employees and all this overhead, suddenly you're not able to cover just the expenses anymore.
It gets like bottlenecked.
Completely. Yeah, and there's like grand ambitions that are like amazing that people have, but if you don't have the revenue to actually balance it out and actually pursue these ambitions, it's a completely different ballgame. And that's where I think we're actually in a much better position than a lot of the major teams, because I don't want to say major teams, larger teams, just because we have this vision that we're going after, and whether we sell out, whether we sell a bunch on secondary consistently, or whether or not, we're going to have the models built in so this business, this brand, keeps going, and all of the Froot Frens are along for the ride. Yeah,
it's good. It's good stuff. It is, and it's stuff that we've been. You know, we talk about it a lot. We this is what we do every Wednesday. We congregate about it because that it's like, I guess Moonbirds is a phenomenal example of just kind of seeing like when you have just an entrepreneur and somebody that just has like this mind. Like, how fast was it? Was it within
36 hours? Yeah, I mean, because it minted out within, I think, 2, and it was 2.5 ETH to mint. I think it was.
It was like they checked like the wallet or something, right? Like
yeah,
before
using
like
pre-mint.
Wallet, yeah.
I think it trickled down, so it might have been a Dutch auction. So I'm not sure if they all minted at 2.5 ETH, but I mean, it was overnight that people were selling them for 23 ETH, I think, and I don't know where it's at right now.
So, like, what's funny is like I'm so involved just with Badfroot that it's like I don't really look too far out, and like because I made decent investments earlier, that like I'm not like, trying to get the next thing. But
yeah, and I don't follow much either. This one just
so I didn't even hear about it until it happened, because it happened so quick. And I was tempted to get one. I saw, but I don't know. I always get nervous because it's like always peak floor when I buy. I've done it like 5 times, and I'm just like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like I can't. I always get the ass end of the stick. But I don't know. I guess whatever they're cooking is good. So
and I wouldn't say necessarily to buy now for anyone. I wouldn't say necessarily to buy ever, but at the same time, it was a better investment up front than 2.5 ETH sounded, because I am not shelling out 2.5 ETH for anything. I mean, I didn't for this because it was so much. Like if it was I don't even know what the number would have had to have been for me to buy in, but seeing it, I'm like, this is going to do well because it's Kevin, because he has a team of people who've done this before. And yeah, it's $75 million or even more. I don't know what it got up to.
Holy
like
shit!
They have a
like, what do
huge
you even
team.
do with that? Like
Well,
how do you?
This is the thing: is that's I think 18 months of runway for what they're building. Where it sounds insane, the amount of money, but to actually build things at scale, it takes a ton of money. Like hire a few engineers, and so much money is out the window right there. And you just have so many expenses that go into a big production, like a big startup, because it's a startup is what it is. A startup with non-angel or seed round funding. It is public funding, which gets into like, is this a security and like all these different things that really make it murky about NFTs and crypto in general. But yeah, it's fascinating. And I think we're going to see more of this now, because just like the Bored Apes set the stage for other PFP projects, I could see this setting the stage for other seasoned, like veterans of like the entrepreneurial space coming in and being like, oh, this is a new way to fund. I have this thing I want to do, sort of like Stoner Cats. I didn't realize, like, I'm not super into that or anything, but Stoner Cats is Mila Kunis.
Kutcher, right? Yeah.
So it turns out he's just involved because he's married to Mila Kunis. This was her idea. She wrote the show. They pitched it all over. No one wanted it. Then NFTs came around, and they're like, we can fund the show through NFTs. So they figured out what it would cost per episode to do like a normal mint, like 0.08, 0.05 was one episode. Like if they minted out 10,000. So they did 0.3. And then they were able to do a series, which now is branched off into other series, like other shows and different things with like free airdrops for these characters and this and that. Again, I don't own this either, but it's that different approach that I think we're going to see a lot more of moving forward. And all that to say, this is a huge tangent, but I'm really excited for what we're doing, because we're, again, doing something different, doing it differently than just every other project.
Yeah. Wow. It's so much to think about, like even just like other entrepreneurs or people that have ideas that need to like crowdfund, I guess, money here. Like this is kind of that I guess I never really thought about it that way. That's kind of what it is, right? Like you're giving a creator there and an opportunity to just showcase what's inside their brain and, you know, follow them a little bit. And yeah, that's really cool. You know, that's funny with the Stoner Cats. I remember they dropped when I was in Puerto Rico earlier this year. And then I was like on the plane, I was like half paying attention. I didn't, I remember the mint being like kind of expensive. I don't remember what they minted at.
Yeah, it was 0.3.
Oh, it wasn't that 0.3. Yeah. I thought 0.03. I was like, 0.3 is a lot. And then, I'm glad to see that it wasn't just like a rug, that they're like kind of, they're still doing it. Like, that's nice, because do you remember there was like, I don't remember what celebrities or just people from that have followings already they came into the space and they just like rug people, like just immediately, like, who was it? Was it Mayweather? He had a project, right?
Oh, yeah,
and it was just like,
yeah, he's sort of notorious for that. It sounds like just not paying, like the Logan Paul fight. He still hasn't been paid the whole cut of his percentage yet. And I guess the not to be all like rumor mill, but I heard that Mayweather's like, it takes 7 or 8 years to get paid for a boxing fight, and that sounds a little suspect when you're the promoter. But I don't know. But it's just, things seem to get, when money's involved, things get really murky with a lot of people, no matter how much money they have.
Right. And like, so, you know, money is the root of all evil, right? So it's like, that's another thing in this space, is that there's so much money flying through this space. It's bringing in like, just like, well, I less and less each day. But when it was first getting developed here, like this space, it was bringing in like a sketchy clientele of just like people just trying to make money and recycle money and like build FOMO on stuff that wasn't there because they had certain connections and other assets to get places. And I'm glad now you could see like a little bit clearer, and like, that's also why I've always liked to dox myself. I've always liked to, you know, say, here I am, this is what we do, this is how we do it. Yeah, it's good to see that wow, I'm impressed with the Stoner Cats thing because like I remember thinking, I'm like, what the fuck do they know about NFTs? Like, what do they know? Like, I'm literally drawing in an airport, like just trying to keep up. And like, what is Ashton like? I like them. I love that '70s show. Like that, they're some of my favorite. Like I grew up watching them. So, it's not that I wanted them to fail, but it was just like more of like concern that it was like, do you guys really know what you're doing with this? Like, is this real? Like, is this kind of like? So it's nice to see that people are following through and like things are becoming more and more stable here every day. It was really crazy a year ago. Do you remember how crazy it was? It was super crazy over the summer. Now it's just kind of like there's some credibility being formed here. Like there's some real roots being dug. Yeah. There was a lot of chaos. There was a lot of digging last year. That's what it was. There was a lot of digging. And then like now people are with my real estate analogy, when it's like now people are starting to build homes on the land that they've secured, and that's why we're coming for it too. That's what we're doing. I have disc up. If you see my eyes constantly darting, that's what I'm reading. What the iguana said. He's there in spirit. Someone take an out of place bong rip. Oh, I got you, Iguanosaurus. This is for Iggy.
So I guess back to SkullKids though, and where we're at, we can't help ourselves, but there's some new traits. We're always we should have locked these traits in like a month ago, but at the same time, we're just like, but we need to do this. There's this one thing, if we didn't think about this, we should really add that. We should do this and maybe remove a couple because we have niched just a couple things, very few, but it's better with every day we let it sit, but at the same time we have to launch. So it's just funny because there's going to be a lot of assets moving forward and other ways to use them and utilize them for fun, for the community and everything.
It's so tough because like what happens is like, especially lately, like a lot of the stuff's been more like admin, it hasn't been so much like the drawing, like that bulk of it had been finished for, a good amount of time. But when I get back to the iPad and like I'll take like 3 or 4 days and like I do this sometimes, like it's good. It's like letting the creative juices restore. And like I get back to the iPad and like I just start creating and then like I get done with one trait and I'm like, I'm not done yet. Like, and then like I draw another one and I'm like, it'd be so sick if I did this. And then like, I just keep going and going and going. It's like, I've told you this before that like I can pump out generative after generative after generative after generative after generative after generative if I needed to. Like it's contagious. Like, cause traits, like when you're drawing traits and you're trying to think about things, like it's fucking endless. Like you can just think of so many things.
It's a universe. Like, you're building a universe with characters.
Totally. Items and like I really have to say I think growing up playing like World of Warcraft and like very gear-based RPGs have made this seamless from the creation standpoint, because like you'll see in the generative and in a lot of the SkullKids you'll see him wearing like badass gear that like is obviously inspired by RPGs and stuff, but the development of like, so WoW for example, it's like I don't know who's played it in here, but that's been like, I've been on and off playing that game since like literally 2006. So like, I just am, the Blizzard owns my life, but they have different slots, right? So like you have your helmet, your shoulders, your chest, your wrists, your gloves, your boots, your belt, your like everything. And like at the end game, it's like you can get, you when you complete the set, your guy looks so fucking badass, like, cause it's like you have the smoky shoulders that match the fucking sick helmet and like the bow looks, and it's like it requires like a lot to get there. So like it's rare gear, and then they have gear that's not so rare that still looks kind of cool. So it just made the creation of even WarKids. When I was pumping out WarKids, it was so easy to just constantly just grind stuff because of most of my inspirations. But that's like kind of what building the project like felt like. Like Jeff on my to-do list assigns me the side quests, and then like I go and when I create. It just really, I think in that manner. Like I think in that gear set, how it would look. And then I've made things so cohesively, and you too with the backgrounds, dude, like really fucking bring them to life. And like the cohesiveness of like the coloring, the gears, some certain gears, like everything kind of looks like it belongs with each other. Like nothing looks off, nothing looks weird, and there's some wild fucking traits in there. And like nothing really looks like, oh, that doesn't belong. Like it all, even the other art styles, like they all look like they really. Oh, dude, we've really made something special. Like, I'm so stoked. Like, I am so excited. And, you know, I look really, a lot of my day after I work out, I normally spend like 2 or 3 hours on the beach. I swear to God, I'm fucking working. And, and, I'm, you know, Jeff asked me to like proof check, you know, like a lot of the generative, and we find errors and, you know, we fix and we go from there. So I was.
And for clarity, just because sometimes traits will overlap, and we don't want two traits to really just run into each other and not look right.
Flash. So, yeah. You want to make sure it looks like really sleek, and like it's all layering, like the way you create on Procreate. If you've ever seen me kind of do it in Discord every now and then, there's just so many layers to like how you bring things to life, and it goes in the same manner with this. So I'll be going through a lot of them, and like I really like look at the quality of what we've fucking pumped out, and like there isn't I'm so fucking biased because like I've birthed it, you know? So like I think I see other arts and generative projects. I see other, just the way that things are done. Like ours looks so crisp and so clean, and it just looks so fucking good. Like it looks so good. And it's really a love letter. Black, look how fast Black Cloud is. Did you see that pop
I
up
just
in
saw it
Discord?
pop up.
He's so fast with the GIFs. Literally. I still play it every now and then. Like I download it and like I fight myself for a week. I'm like, no, you don't have time, don't do it. And I download it just to like log in and like ride my mount around, and then I'm like, all right. And then like I don't play it anymore. But it's super inspirational, the game, you know? It's like you can. Like, all right, tell me in that GIF you're looking at right now in Discord that you can't see a lot of the inspirations where it stemmed from. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So it the game is just they just always are their updates, their patches, like you pay Blizzard $15 a month for your subscription to WoW. All the content is free. Every update, it's not pay to play, and it's like they really utility. That's utility. They funnel the utility back. So NFTs were just so natural for me to get into. And like, it literally is just like a big MMO. Like that's how it's kind of, I've made sense of it. And like, I think a lot of the clientele of the people that are here come from that realm as well. Like I like to think a lot of people that are here are gamers, tech, you know, kind of,
and collectors. But yeah,
it's
just collectors in general. So even like Pokemon cards and things that very much are right in line with everything.
Yes.
So
yeah, sorry, my dog friend Luke just came by and said hi. I can't resist myself. he went inside.
It's all good.
And my cousin. Yeah.
But yeah, so just for a second, every so often it just hits me how amazing all of this is. Like right now, we're doing this. We have people listening live. We have Black Cloud in there throwing a GIF out. I don't know. Just sometimes it clicks. Like we're so in the future, and I just love this. But Black Cloud wrote in Disc, are you using your Bored Ape to network and spread exposure because he sees how other apes leverage it? Now, like we're not trying to pump. We're trying to keep things really organic. But have you thought about that at all? Even like just anything through like ape follow ape or what? I don't know exactly the method people normally use.
Yeah.
But
so that shit's corny as fuck to me. But so here's it's just not organic. And I've done it. I've totally done it. But so the ape, I don't know if you guys know the story, but I accidentally bought it. I didn't realize I was going through the transaction. In my defense, during that summer period, I was not sleeping. I was working. My brain was not in the right place. But I originally had considered buying it for marketing purposes to network with apes. And I would do, if you look in the Graveyard collection, you'll see like Skull Ape variants that I've done. That like I have great friends that are apes. Swole Luke's Go Bags. You can find him on Twitter. He's a total just shit poster. He's great. Like he's funny. He's on there. He's got an ape. We have very similar apes. And there are a bunch of apes in our community as well. They've always they were the original backers.
And
But
real
before
quick,
it ever
sorry,
blew up.
that was Jake. Jake asked the question. Sorry, Jake.
Okay,
they just called it out on there. I just saw it right next to the GIF. I messed up there, but Jake was asking. But yeah, sorry. Back to the apes.
I definitely have considered it, but I don't want it to come across as inorganic because like there's a lot of like flexing that comes with like the ape, and there's a lot of like that's why I'm not really like too heavily like involved with them, because it's like kind of also like heavy like oh bro culture, like, and like that's just not me. Like I just you know, like it just all feels very, it's good. The community's good. I'm not saying anything bad about the community. I just like, I'm just so focused on Badfroot. I just wouldn't have the time to invest in putting the ape persona on without it interrupting with what I'm doing at Badfroot. So that being said, I do utilize the assets that Yuga Labs has delivered to me, Jeff.
Well, yeah. Well, also, so here in the traits, for example, I think we've already shown that there is an ape head that is completely Badfroot Jack style, but it is that's of your board ape, isn't it? Or it's like so Badfruit, so Jack. And I know you were going down a different path, but we'll save that for later. But we have like
I can't.
We have the
so
ape
much spoilers. I can't. But
we have the ape on his shirt.
We are utilizing it in ways kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right.
So it'll be like a like once, because I figure, which is a great point, like we can share that out and sort of do the ape, like that this is your ape reimagined in the Skullverse, in like the SkullKids universe. And like I think it's a great idea, but obviously in our own way, in that like, hey, look, this is how we're using this this IP.
Yeah, and you'll also find it on a T-shirt, and I did like a suit, like an ape suit, but like the ape suit can also be matched with like other helmets and stuff. Like it looks good, you know. It's that actually ape suit was inspired by the Bad Touch music video by the Bloodhound Gang. Are you familiar?
I don't remember it exactly, but like it's been such a long time. But
they like dress like chimps and they're like running around in the streets and they're just being like, you know, I love the Bloodhound Gang. They're like one of my favorite bands. Like they're just so goofy and like very smart with the way that they write things, and just so stupid too. But the ape it's based off of my ape too, because I have a like a gunner's mate ape. But yeah, that whole bit to like put on the ape, and like I don't even want to rep it as my profile picture because I want my apple up there. You know, I want the apple up there. I don't even want me up there right now. I'm forced to have that up there. It's like I want like.
So let's actually touch on that real quick, because like we said, we're doing things differently. We have someone who's doing PR for us. Like that is a thing that we're doing. It's not an employee. It's a 1 month kind of deal where she's reaching out to spread this sort of Badfroot message and vibe outside of our immediate circles, because we're building something bigger than an NFT. Like this is like, obviously this is starting with the NFTs. The NFTs are important because this is like everyone's claim to be a part of the project, to feel invested in like a tangible way. Like as you see with Immortals, I mean, Immortal Gods being 0.01 to mint. You can clean up if you wanted to. If you wanted to mint a ton and just throw them on secondary and triple your money overnight because you just list them for mint, I mean, it's all up to you. Whatever, however you want this community to function, but this will continue. This is a thread. This is just the first of the thread. Like the Immortals are always going to have the best benefits, but generations, there will be things in the works for generations as well. Like not just the rune system and all the fun, but everyone now is like the true OG. And then generations, we're still at the starting line. People coming in tomorrow, next week, and the day after, the month after, they're still early with this. Like this is something we're building for the long term. And yeah. I feel like I'm always just like saying how excited I am, but it's just true. I think about this all the time.
It's exciting.
Amara's in here. She can attest that it's all I talk about, all I think about, because this is the exciting time of developing a brand. Like you have to hit the times where things get sort of in the muck. Like there was a quote that I was gonna pull up that I read recently that was like the muck turns to brass or something like that, and it's just sort of to be like, when you're doing the things that everyone wants to do, it's really hard to build a business and make money around that, because if you're doing something people already want to do for free, there's less people looking to pay for it. It's just supply and demand. But there are areas of business and development, like the coding side of things. It's just the tool I use to build businesses. Like, I don't particularly like coding. It's just something I can do. I need to do it because it's a tool to do it, and it's also then a lucrative endeavor because we're not shilling out money to other people to do it. And it's just, I don't know, it's an interesting area. I don't know why I went down that little tangent, but it's actually already 10 till, and I'm going to have to cut it right on time just because I have so much that I'm right on the hour, just because I have so much that I'm doing. So why don't we open up
same.
our community milk for everyone?
It never gets old. It sounds so funny.
Alrighty. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, this is Community Milk, where we would love to have anyone request to speak. Come on up and chat. Even if you have questions in Discord, if you don't want to chat, feel free to throw them in there. Obviously, we have it open. We're watching, but yeah, this is truly crunch time. Last 7 days, we're going to we're doing like collabs with people, not collabs as in like art collabs, but giveaway of Froot Frens allow list collabs. So we've been trying to iron that out, which again, writing copy, delivering assets, doing things, all of it takes time. We have in our mod chat, our core fruit chat, like we have like Luis and Oppie and Bake and like people helping sort of do this. And yeah, it's a lot though. It's a lot for the next 7 days, but we're making it happen, and we're excited, even if we're going to be running on fumes for a little bit and a little quiet, probably publicly in Discord and things in the lead up. But Oppie, you are up here right now. You can unmute whenever.
What's up, gang? How's everybody doing?
What's up, dude?
Happy 420, everybody.
Happy 420. I'm so baked right now. It hurts.
That's the way it should be today. Nice sunshine outside, a nice little bit of sunshine in your lungs as well.
Yeah.
Jack just looked over his shoulder. He's like, "Can he see this?"
I didn't even realize. I heard voices over there. So that's so funny.
I'm doing good. I'm chilling. I need to give the boy Jake his regularly scheduled shout out. Everybody enjoy the man Jake. Everybody go check him out. Everybody love him.
Yeah, Jake's awesome. You're awesome. We really appreciate having you.
And then I also want to plug a little art contest. Go make a game cover. Go make a game cover. Possibly get one of 4 variations of the horsewoman. Crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, and you guys saw the example of Luis's. That's like, I guess, what we're looking for. Like that. What a bar to set, though.
Seriously,
like, that is insane. But yeah, we'll be giving away the red variant. There's 4 different variants of the first horsewoman of the apocalypse, which is Shaq and I have planned to do the remaining 3 throughout time, and we're going to do color variants. So it'll just be a fun collectible thing. It's just something you've probably seen. I didn't realize how much reach they were going to have on Twitter. Do you just see how much they're going? I'm still getting DMs of people finding the cards at the convention center.
Really?
So, yeah. So it's a cool, just fun little thing we're doing to collect, and possibly utility down the line. Maybe if you get all 4, something we used to do with like SkullKids. I know you and I had talked about that. Totally, absolutely. If someone down the line gets that, because the other 2 colors are from Shaq's collection, so not necessarily easy to get. And there's a total supply of 250 for each variant, and a lot of the mods in our Discord have the red variant right now. So, and then there's one being also given away in Discord if you introduced yourself. I'm going to probably let that run for a little longer if anybody wanted to still get in there and do that. But yes, the art contest, the game cover contest, get to that. I'm excited to see what people come up with. I love seeing variations of art, like whenever we run our art contests. Like, it's so fun, like seeing what people come up with. Like, God, that Pokemon one was really good though.
Yeah, it's sick. He set the bar high right out the gate.
Yeah.
But hopefully this is just the first of many art contests. I decided to go with a game theme because, right, like you were saying earlier, a lot of us come from gaming side of things, so it just made sense. But just get everybody's gears turning. The next one, I'm thinking it will be like a skateboard contest, like design a skate deck instead.
Oh,
but
that's fun.
Oh yeah.
So that's funny because Amara has done that. Like
Really?
We have physical like skate decks that she's drawn or painted on, and yeah, that's a really cool
That's
a cool idea. I like that a lot.
Amara, when trait? When? We're running out of time. It's crunch time, Amara. We're waiting for you.
She does, like, I've seen what she has, and it's like, I think she's just about done with it. It looks pretty awesome. I love it. Nice. And it's her style. Like, it really feels like it speaks back to her collection. Oh my goodness, is she requesting? I know, Jake, you're up here, but it looks like Amara is requesting to speak.
Does it happen to be in the doer style?
Yeah, Dowers. Yeah. So Amara, you can speak right now if you unmute your mic.
Woof. No, just teasing. Hi, everybody.
What is up?
A little blazed as well. So hi.
Wait, I can't. I hang on. I can't hear you. I gotta bring it up. What'd you say? You're what? You're blazed as well.
Oh, yeah, I was like,
nice.
Nice.
Good for you.
Like, dear God. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so yeah.
Welcome to the club.
I know. I was like, oh, sorry, Jeff. But yeah, really excited. I worked on a few things, so no grand promises, but very stoked. So thanks for having me.
Yes.
Say hi.
Super excited, and thanks for coming up and saying hi.
Yeah, it's so funny because I can hear her in the other room, so this is so just trippy.
Your shock was so funny when you saw she requested. You were like, oh, really? Okay, like you just said, like, not expecting it at all. That was really funny. You guys will see it on the reroll. That was good.
It was good. I can't wait. I know I'm always like the silent lurker, but I was like, yeah, what the hell? Why not? Anyway, thanks.
So yeah, Jake, you're up here. If you want to unmute whenever.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This feels like an intimate group because I know everybody, almost everyone. Couple questions. So first is no comment. I'm gonna definitely enter that contest, little art contest.
Cool.
I'm excited about that, and just the time, away from everything else, right? Just drawing, it's so therapeutic. But I couldn't help but notice everything's pumping right now, and especially World. So it got me to thinking about you, Jack, and kind of that teaser that you put out, Badfroot Planet. So are you just being like figuratively speaking, or is that literal? Like, is there a world coming, dude? Fucking tell us.
So I don't even remember what I said, but but yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is so much like. All right, here, I could tell you guys something I've been secretly working on. So I have been inspired, and I get bit with the bug every couple weeks, every couple months. And I've been writing this intense, like, graphic novel that has, like, a really, really, it's dark, but it's intense. It's not as gross and disgusting as normally the stuff that I like pump out, and like not as silly. It has more of like serious connotations to it, and so that's something that like I would love to one day be able to develop, turn into like a comic or something, or just be able to flesh some idea out. So like, yeah, it's like we got so much we want to do and so much we want to cook out, and
but we do have to admit. So he's talking specifically about NFT worlds, and we don't have anything planned for that yet.
What is it? NFT worlds? I thought you meant Badfroot Planet. Yeah, I heard that. I was confused.
So it's both, but yeah, you could explain it to him, Jeff.
No. I'll leave it up to you because I'm actually not as familiar as I think you are.
Oh, so first of all, great to hear that, Jack. I'm excited about just the world that you build, and there's so much potential, right, with these, today was the first I heard about these characters, right? And personalities. It got me to thinking about, other projects that go beyond the PFP. But what I'm seeing right now and why it's pumping is the world token. So NFT world is, it's up like 30-40% in a day, because projects are literally building like their own little universes on NFT worlds. So I was just curious if that was something that down the road you would do for all of us.
I mean, to be honest, bro, I haven't even done any homework on it, so I couldn't even tell you. I mean, if you want to shoot me any links or information I could start reading up on, like, Jeff and I are never going to say no. Like, we're going to always investigate. Like, we're always going to see what's fun and what's the best opportunities and stuff. And like, if it matches what we're trying to do, why not? So, but I couldn't tell you enough about it. I don't know the first thing. So if you want to hook me up with a link, I'd totally love to brush up on it. See what's.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send it to both of you guys.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, and like we said, we're building this together. Like, I don't have much metaverse experience. I've like poked into a couple here and there, but like, if that's something that collectively we all want to have, like, we absolutely are all on board for it. Completely on board.
I was thinking about last night. I was up till I woke up early, and I was like, I wanted to get like an Oculus. Like, I keep looking at them, and I'm like, maybe, like, I don't know. Like, there is stuff that we haven't even touched. Oh yeah.
I got one right here under my desk.
the first time I ever used it was at NFTLA. It was pretty sweet. So, but there's a whole realm of that, of just metaverse VR that we haven't even tapped into. So I can't, no comment yet, but we'll definitely do our homework for sure.
Absolutely. But yeah, like, thanks so much. Yeah, all you guys for jumping up here, Jake, Oppie, Amaro, which was so shocking. But yeah, it is 9 o'clock my time, and I do need to get back to keep knocking these things out, because there's only so much time between now and launch.
Yeah,
but
same. I gotta do. I still gotta do the trait names. I still gotta do a few things. So yeah, we got a jet. We got a jet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I forgot it a little bit earlier, but essentially, and I really should know this by now, to be honest, but is it going to be an instant reveal, or is it going to do waves?
So yeah, this will be instant reveal. So like, obviously there's the delay. There's going to be default metadata, default image. It shows up immediately, but usually, like, it's just the OpenSea delay. Essentially, our side is instant, so it just takes however long it takes them to update the metadata from that instant. Like, the moment it's minted, the metadata will be different, but then essentially a second later it's updated. So it all depends when OpenSea grabs it.
Bet, I gotcha.
But yeah, I think it's exciting too. I really liked the instant mint, just personally, because
I do too.
Yeah, like,
the
long lead up for a reveal, like a week or a month later, it's like, I don't know, it's not as fun as, like, we can be here on Relentless, and you can be like, I'm gonna mint one for 0.01 next week, and then spend whatever $30 and see what happens, and we can all see together as it pops up. Which, by the way, I would love to have a bot by then that's just pumping them out and showing them on Twitter, but I do not think I'll have enough time.
Computers?
What's that?
Like how computer does his, how
For sure.
It's minted, it immediately pops it.
Yeah, so I might actually have to reach out to him and see if he wouldn't mind sharing that script with me, because otherwise I'm gonna have time to do that. But I would love to have that, because we can just watch him bing away while we're all here on the space, and hopefully earlier in the day works. I know it is probably a challenge for a lot of people, like if it's 1 p.m. Eastern, but hopefully it'll work out, because I think it'd just be fun to launch together live here on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very much so.
Sweet. Well, yeah, I think we should wrap right there. So yeah, thanks again, everyone, for tuning in, everyone for coming up, and we will see you next time.
See you guys. Thanks for coming.